Working. Been way up for a minute now. Hold up, it's been a minute. Wow, I've been way up. I can feel it now. Tell my family I'ma get it.
All right, people, you guys are watching and or listening to another Nomadic Cole video for your entertainment. Be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and of course, subscribe for more epic, cool, awesome, funny content just like this one right here, right now, on the Nomadic Cole YouTube channel. Again, be sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, share, and subscribe for more. This video is going to be an interesting topic. It's about facing the attacks on RFK Jr., also known as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, these attacks come from both the left wing and the right wing. And unfortunately, they're quite misguided and they spread a lot of false information. I'm going to address some of them. The first ones I'm going to address are coming from the left wing, unfortunately. One of the common ones you'll hear is anti-vax conspiracy theorist. That's not true. He's pro-vaccine. By vaccine, I mean pro-safe vaccines. That's right, safe vaccines. He wants to increase regulations on the vaccines and basically hold these companies accountable when there are damages done. Because, believe it or not, with the jabs, there are some damages done, unfortunately. Some people have adverse reactions to them. Sometimes there are side effects. And these companies, unfortunately, have agreements. They have written on paper that the average person cannot go and sue them, unfortunately, which isn't right. If they do damages to somebody, they should be able, that person should be able to sue against that company if it's really serious, and if the situation calls for it. And that's what Robert F. Kennedy seems to be talking about and wanting to fight for. Another thing you hear is a lot of bots and trolls and stuff will basically just call him a nut. I'd say the thing you need to just ask them is just why. Sorry, I have a cat back there still. But the thing you need to ask them about is why. Why do they think he's a nut? Most of the times this is just a targeted smear, and they don't insinuate at all, because most of the times this just comes from trolls and bots, unfortunately. People just trying to get a rise out of people, which is kind of sad. If you ask me, Skip, kind of sad. But that is just one of the many attacks on RFK Jr. A lot of times you'll also hear from the left wing is they don't like his stance on the Israel-Gaza war. I actually do want to do a more comprehensive video on the Israel-Gaza war, because I used to be very firm in support for Israel, but in the last handful of months or so, I did my research and I looked at videos and I seen what's going on. I agree with most of Robert F. Kennedy's take on it, on the war going on there in Israel and Gaza. However, I do think that, I kind of hold a neutral view of this, that both sides have committed some war crimes, some deadly war crimes, and both sides should face scrutiny over those things. Neither side here seems to be in the right, if you ask me. I apologize, I'm going to move that real quick out of the way. But both sides seem to be not exactly taking any sort of moral high ground, which is what you would see with a lot of different wars. It seems as if with this war that the Palestinian civilians are the ones that are in the worst place, the ones suffering the most out of the war, by by Palestinian, I mean Palestinian Arabs and Jews and Christians, these civilians, they seem to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. You have Hamas, who is just a terrible authoritarian regime that was voted into power and will not let the reins up, and they are brutal and vicious and violent, and they don't want their people to leave because they want their people to be martyred. And then you have the IDF, who seems to be a little bit negligent, to say the least, with their bombing strategies. I understand, as someone who is related to the Marines and Navy people who have fought in these Middle Eastern wars, I understand that you're going to have civilian casualties no matter what. I understand that that sometimes, yeah, you need to bomb a freaking bomb maker's facility. That I understand that, but it seems like there's more that the IDF could be doing to prevent that. Though I do agree with Robert F. Kennedy's very educated take, and I will leave a link to his take on it down below. He was on a town hall a while back where he explained his stance on the issue. Now, on the right-wing side, you are going to hear people calling him far left. Mostly people making fun of the vice president choice, people who haven't watched their speech at all, and people who will go and bring up stuff from 4 years ago, you know, as if people can't change over the course of 4 years, about as a sort of jab towards Nicole Shanahan, the vice president choice for RFK Jr. We also hear Donald Trump call RFK Jr. far left. He actually used to praise and support RFK Jr. earlier in the year, which it sounds like it must mean that he's being threatened by RFK Jr.'s success as of recent, because now he's going and calling him far left, even though he's not really that far left. You want to see far left, look at AOC, Hillary Clinton, or Nancy Pelosi, or Rashida Tlaib. Those are more far left people. Not exactly RFK Jr. Charlie Kirk as well has called RFK Jr. far left and brought up those you know, for better or for worse, I would say not very wise payments to a DA that happened to be backed by George Soros. Wasn't a very smart idea, but that was 4 years ago. We're talking about someone who was 34 years old with a lot of money making those decisions, and RFK recently was on a segment on Fox News, I believe it was either Fox News or News Nation, one of those two, where he talks about that and how he vetted through Nicole and how it seems like Nicole is not on board with that anymore, you know, with that payment. So there's that as well. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of bots and trolls that are going to try to smear RFK. The Biden administration has dedicated its own team of attorneys to go and attack the RFK campaign, specifically because the RFK Jr. campaign threatens Biden's campaign. Unfortunately, guys, those that support RFK Jr., you know, we're going to be in the midst of some political warfare. So I'd say keep your chin up, keep up your dukes, stay aware, make sure you're well researched when debating and arguing with some of these people. And welcome to the jungle. This is Nomadic Cole signing off.